Do you hear, guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear Laurie? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, they hear me. Oh, not me. Not me. Oh, yeah. They hear me. They don't hear you.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now? That should have both of us in there now. I'm just wondering if it's going to butcher my picture, but no, it's still going through there. Do you guys hear me now? You should hear both of us. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? That should have both of us in there now. I'm just wondering if it's going to butcher my picture. Okay. But why is it playing back? You guys hear me now? You should. Oh, God. I hate this program.
You don't have access to StreamYard tonight, do you?
No, not right now. Okay, it should technically be on now. I see audio going on both. They should hear us. Okay, they hear both of us. Okay, I am sorry, guys. This is what happens when you don't pay for StreamYard. When we're trying to do it free. It should. You should hear Laurie now. I see both audios coming into the program. It says guest. It says mine. Let me double check that yours is the right guest and I didn't accidentally put mine in twice just to make sure. Okay, we're going to flip this scene 1 second and I will make sure that it is there.
Okay, I think they hear both of us now.
It should be working now. We should be good to go. Okay. Apologies, guys. And I know you lost the picture for a second there. Long story short, your camera has to go through OBS and then that goes through the other thing. And I think for some reason it didn't want to do it. And I had to like loop it back through, but it should be working now. So.
Oh, wait, Jamie, there's no video now.
Yeah, I know. That's because you're behind on YouTube. It's okay. It'll come back. Just give it a
second. DJ said that also.
Yeah, it went off. It should come back.
See okay.
Come back. Okay. Okay, do you see it now? You should see it now.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, I just want to make sure they see it and that everybody sees everything that they're supposed to. Hopefully.
It froze for me on.
Yeah, I know it froze, but it should be back.
It's okay. I can watch it on my cell. It's fine.
Okay, she sees it. They see it now. Yeah, you're not going to see it. I don't know. It worked when I did it the test before with Scarlett, so I don't know. I give up. Anyway.
It's okay.
Yeah, there you go. You guys see all our technical stuff. All right. Sorry about that. Let's try again, and I will try to delete that part of the video when we're all done. I'll cut it out. Because, I don't even have the chat in here like I should. It's not even showing up, so I've given up. It's not been a good day. All right, so we start out with the Dama giving Herschel a snack that he's not had before, right? And I'm trying to move it as I'm talking, see if I can shrink it, but I don't think I can.
She gives him peanut brittle. Actually walnut brittle.
Yes, she gives him walnut brittle, and he doesn't know because he's never had it before. And she's like, "That's okay." Uh, and she asks him if there's anything else he needs. It's just going to have to stay cropped. She asks him if there's anything else he needs, and he asks for a coat and for stuff to draw with. And she's trying to endear herself to him, so she agrees to do it. Yeah, so yeah, I give up on that. Okay. I don't know. What do you think? I think this is the beginning of her brainwashing him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I tend to think that it's like a good cop, bad cop routine. I
Mhm.
think the Croat is the bad cop, and she's the good cop. So this is how she works her way into his mind and brainwashes him.
Yeah.
She untied him. She's giving him something sweet to eat. So I think this is the beginning of their friendship.
Oops. Clicked a different picture. Yeah. She's kind of there for him. I mean, this episode, obviously, this is when we go further in, but um, she is trying to reason with him and talk to him and being like, I know that, you don't have anybody to talk to because your mother's too busy worrying about Negan is basically what she says.
Well, she says that late. She says
Yeah,
that later on.
I know.
Right.
She says that later, but
Right.
this is the start of that and of her getting him to listen to her and trust her, I guess.
Right.
So she gives him the drawing stuff and a coat, or she says she will, and then he's okay.
She takes the coat off her back and gives it to him.
Yes, you're right. She does.
Which is a very grand gesture.
Yeah.
She's sacrificing her warmth for him.
Yep. All right. So then we go. Yeah, see, you guys are missing like half the frame, but at least I somehow happen to get the center that has the part of the picture that tells you where it's at. You're just missing the extraneous background. So we go to them starting their journey and they're not sure where to go. Hold on. I got it to move a little bit. The next thing I have is Croat, so I'm missing something here. This is just where they're all leaving and they're worried about Maggie's trying to leave. Help me out here a little bit. And
Maggie's trying to. They're walking in Central Park now.
Yeah, they're walking in. This is before the walkers come out.
Right.
That's right. That's why I don't know why I know I remember typing this, but for some reason don't have it.
That's okay. Yeah, they were walking. They just entered the park.
Yeah. Pearlie says, I see what I did. I put it in the wrong place. Pearlie says that there's a boathouse down the way and that's the closest thing that he knows it's there and that they need to find a place to lie low. And Navarros obviously wants to go after the methane, which Maggie is not down with, but doesn't really have a choice. And they have a conversation where Maggie's mad that she got people killed. And eventually the woman's just like, this is what we're doing. If you agree with me, Colonel, and he takes her side, which he shouldn't. That's kind of was a little surprising. Mm-hmm. But he tells Maggie that, they're going to go, but they'll do it her way.
Right.
At least. And then they come upon some walkers. They start getting pulled like into the field, and this woman one of them jumps out. Sorry, they're not quite in the field yet. One of them jumps out and grabs her, and Herschel tries to help her, but it's too late. She's almost
and
dead.
She's like the head of New Babylon.
She was the head figure. I wouldn't say she's necessarily the head because
everybody reported to her though.
Right. Everybody, you're right. Everybody reported her. I finally figured out how to move it a little bit at a time.
But you know what I find strange about this scene is that nobody seemed to care that she died.
No, you're right. Nobody really did seem to care that she died.
No one said any parting words. Nobody said, "Oh, she was so great. I knew her like 10 years." Nothing like that.
No, they didn't. But Herschel did try to save her. It was just too late for him to do anything. But so Pearlie stabs her in the head, gets rid of her, so they don't have to worry about her now anymore. But yeah, nobody was. I mean, she didn't really have control, right? Like Navarro's has had control, even though
but she's Navarro's boss, though.
She is. I'm just saying, like Navarro's been the one that's been trying to run everything, and she never really This
Right.
woman didn't seem to take control. I know she was supposed to have control, but she didn't seem to. It seemed to more be Navarro's that stuck her nose in it
Right.
anyway.
Right. But the point is, nobody cared that she died.
Yes, right. Nobody listened. Nobody paid attention, which kind of sucks. But at least the everybody they're more concerned with, I think, themselves and them getting out of there alive, right?
Well, if you think about it, going straight through the lawn when you have grass that high up, how could you not think there's not walkers in there?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, it's a field, it's not a forest, but yeah, you would still think that they would question there might be
But
some.
it's a field that looks like a forest, right? The grass
Oh,
is so
yeah.
high.
Well, right now they're in these pictures, they're in the park, but yeah, they get into the really high grass.
Right.
Oh, first he does. We skipped this. He looks back at the walker body that killed that woman, and there's a big hole where the heart should be.
Right.
So that's also important. But yeah, they go out and they end up in the grass. But first, we flip to this scene between Croat and Negan and this guy. I have his name.
Yeah, there's where the heart is missing there.
Yeah. I don't know what this guy's name is. I thought I had it written down here. But this guy that is bad that works with them that I don't remember his name. Wayland. There we go. I found it. Wayland. So Wayland and Negan and the Croat are in the car, and this is where the Croat says, I know why you hesitated when we were, shooting out into the water, and that you don't like to kill kids. And he's like, I understand that. And I won't make you kill children. And then this Wayland's like, I'll kill them for you, so you don't have to worry about it. But obviously Negan, that wasn't why, but he's not about to tell them that. So they are going to go out. I don't know if it's yet or a little bit later, but he says that okay, that's later, I think, when he says he's going to go out with them. This is just them saying about the kids. So then we go back to the park, and this is where they end up in the tall grass as they're pulled away. See, I took way more pictures, I guess, than I had discussion for. Sorry. There we go. There's the start of the tall grass. But they end up all getting separated because there's so many walkers in here, and Maggie's trying to keep Herschel with her, and ends up on his own separated. But thankfully he can, for the most part, take care of himself, so he will be okay. But they all sort of make their way through the park, and there you can see an overhead shot. And then a couple of them are grabbed by walkers, but thankfully none of our people. And then Herschel, like I said, he ends up separated. He does see Ginny's bag, and he picks it up. And then before he can be hurt, this girl, Joan, I think her name was, finds him in the grass, and she pulls him out, she pulls him in the right direction and helps him.
Yeah, that girl.
Through. Yeah. So then we have this where Negan is taught. This is the part I was talking about. Negan's talking to him about his power and his responsibility and everything, and saying, oh, I understand, everything, that's why it's so hard for you. And he says that he does, what he doesn't understand is why the Dama essentially treats him like crap. He asks him, why do you let her treat you like that? And I think, at least to me, when I first saw this scene and started listening to him, it was pretty obvious to me that Negan is trying to pit him against her.
Yeah.
Cause problems.
Right.
But Croat's just like, oh no, she's nice. She can be cruel, but that she does care about him. And he tells a story about when she found him before, and took him in and gave him what he needed, and that
she gave him the peanut brittle also.
Yes.
So this is how she worms her way into people's hearts. She gives them peanut brittle. She gave him a blanket and a place to sleep.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, he was already a bad guy at that point, so it wasn't like he was completely turned by her or whatever. It was still.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying, but that's how she got him to like her.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's her way of doing it. But Negan, he sort of gives up on it, I think, because it didn't really work. but I'm assuming he will try again. But he basically is like, well, I can't do anything and help you if we're just sitting here. Let me go take care of the other soldiers, because if there's any of them, they're probably either dead, or if they aren't dead, I'll kill them. And obviously, Negan wants to go so nobody actually gets killed.
Right.
He doesn't want to kill them. And he's like, okay, but then like last second, he's like, take Waylon with you, which is not what Negan wants to hear. But he agrees to take him with him. And he has this is where he says about his mother's food or something like that. So there's Wayland again. How do you like their helmets? It's like this I don't know, it looks kind of like a Roman
yeah,
part of it. It's a weird looking hat.
Yeah.
But he agrees to go with them. And then meanwhile, Maggie is still looking for Herschel. And they happen upon the cabin. I think it's supposed to be the cabin that they were looking for. They never actually say, but I assume that it is. And there are some people there already that are like dressed kind of in, I think there's a picture here. It's a cafe lake. There you go. They're dressed like they have like grass and stuff like on their outfits, like they're kind of camouflaged with the grass, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And it's obviously where that Joan came from, originally from here.
Right.
But yeah, she finds out that Ginny is okay, but Herschel's still not back. And she wants to go out and keep hunting. But here, Armstrong does say to her one thing that makes sense in this case, where he's like, you going out and getting killed isn't going to help Herschel. He'll probably be okay. Give him a chance. And obviously he is. But they talk to this group, and this woman, I thought I had her name, but I don't. Do you remember what her name is?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, well, this woman that we saw, because we don't remember her name.
They remind me of the Whisperers a little bit.
They do a little bit. Well, although the Whisperers were part of the Alpha's bunch, I mean, I don't think these people were bad. So,
no. I mean, as far as them living in nature,
yeah,
not using anything that's from modern technology, and their relationship with the walkers, the way they view the walkers. Yeah.
Her name's Roxana. I looked it up while you were talking. I found it. So she tells them that they knew they were there the whole time, that they're making too much noise. And she also says that the people that are looking for them know they're there because they're making so much noise. And she's basically like, you can hang out here as long as when they're gone, you leave, because they don't want to bring attention to them at all.
Right.
They just want to be left alone. And Maggie still wants to go out and look for Herschel. And this is where she says, we have people out looking for him. The best thing you can do is just leave it to us, because we know where we're, the area and everything, and we'll take care of it. And Armstrong does try to tell them in this part that like they can help them, that they have medicine, they have tools, those kind of things. And she's like, we don't need anything that nature doesn't provide, and we don't need your help. They just, they want to be left alone. And it's kind of like, as per usual, our people think they know better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And are going to cause people to get killed, where if they had never shown up, these people would have probably been a lot better off.
Right.
But that's kind of how this show always is.
And the question is now, why do you think they introduced this group?
I mean, I think that they're another group, obviously, that Navarus is going to try to help them get the methane. But I mean, they don't want to join. I'm not sure what you mean. Like, why did they're kind of a stop on the way that they help them get, out
right.
of
But I'm saying, but why were they introduced into the show? Like, do you think that they're going to help them get the methane? Do you think they're going to hide Herschel or Maggie from the Barazzi, or do you think that they're all going to be killed? I mean, I'm just wondering why they would bring them in this group.
I mean, I think that they can give them shelter right now from the Barazzi, but considering they don't seem to be and I don't know, I mean, they're from the old world, they have weapons and stuff. but they seem to be kind of like, if we die, we die, then we were meant to die,
Right.
all these walkers. Because he does say, well, we can clear out the walkers for you. And she's like, that isn't our problem.
Right.
These are made up of our family members, our dead, and they don't bother us. And they actually use them as camouflage kind of to stop people like the Barazi
Right.
from coming in. I think just because, like I said, usually our people seem to think they know better and then they screw things up worse. I think that they might now end up dead. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Right. That's what I think.
Yeah. But did they have a super big purpose other than temporarily hiding them? I wouldn't necessarily say that yet. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's more coming up, but as of now, they didn't really serve too much of a purpose other than a place for them to hide.
Right.
So that's where she says you can stay. And, she's very nice to them, even though she probably shouldn't be. But she's like, as long as you do what I say, you can stay. And, we'll all be married, but you got to leave as soon as they're gone. And Navarus, I don't know if it's in this part or not, but she basically wants to convince them to help them go get the methane. But that doesn't seem like it's likely to happen. So then Herschel finally makes it out of the grass with that girl. I don't know if she must have left and comes back, I guess. Because when he goes and sits down, he's all by himself. He does have Ginny's bag. He looks in, sees the gun. Then he puts it back and he starts drawing. Not that you can see that he's drawing because the picture's cut off.
Right.
There you go. He's drawing. I can at least move it. I just can't resize it, but I can move
She's
it.
watching him. She's watching him. He doesn't know she's there.
Right. But I mean, she was with him, so she must have. What am I?
She just pulled him away from a walker, and then
she kind of ran away.
Right.
Whenever he came, but she's watching him draw, and he flashes back to when he was with the Dama and was drawing. And she asks him about his drawing because he draws the city the way it is now.
Right.
And she says, that most people would have fixed it in their drawings. And he doesn't know what that looks like, but he's like, I like it the way it is now. It doesn't need to be fixed. And that's what she seems to be. I don't know if she feels that way or she's just using that as something to, get Herschel to listen to her by agreeing.
No, she feels that way. I mean, if you remember, if you remember in the last episode, she killed the violinist because he was playing Bach. He was playing a composer that wanted to go back to the way things were. She says, I'm not interested in going back. So she wants to change everything. She likes it this way. She doesn't want to go back.
Right.
But what I find interesting is they turned on Radio City and all the lights. That when they were trying to impress the other group.
I don't know if that was more for the people to get them on their side.
Maybe.
Or if there was more to it than that. But yeah. And she has this conversation with him. She does say that she lost someone who was stolen from her. We don't find out more than that.
Right.
But she says she knows what it's like to be alone. And she basically says that his mother may not, she knows what happened with Negan and that maybe his mother doesn't have time for his feelings, only for her own. So she's definitely trying to alienate him from Maggie to get him to open up to her.
Yes.
And it seems like it might be working. I hope not, but.
At the time it was working. Well, don't forget, he was captured.
Yeah.
So he didn't know if he'd ever see his mother again. He doesn't know what's going to happen.
That's true.
They had him tied up initially.
Mm-hmm.
So she's free. She freed him from being captive. She gave him his own room. Did we get to the room yet?
Not yet. No.
Oh, okay. So I'll save that for later. Okay.
Yeah. So while Herschel's drawing, this guy, or no, first I didn't take a picture of Waylon. I thought I did. Oh, I see why. Negan and Waylon find a body first. That's why. This is a different part. I'm so annoyed that it's like I know I can't fix it, but it's annoying me because I want to fix it and I don't know how to fix it.
It looks fine. It looks fine.
Yeah, well, you can see part of it at any rate, just not all of it. I wonder if I can know it's zoomed out. I can't. So they find a body and he starts saying that he must be a mainlander because he had lived with them before, and starts asking him questions. And then Negan, to try to kind of get him to, I don't know, leave him alone, I guess would be the best way, just to kind of get on his good side and get him to think that he's one of them, one of him. He says, why did the mainlanders cross the river? And then he says they didn't, because because they killed them. So
Right.
it seems to have helped them a little bit. But then they go into this tunnel that is, at least I think it's under a bridge. It looks like it's under a bridge. They go in it together. There it is. And Negan pulls ahead and kind of pushes the walkers towards him, trying to get him eaten, and himself get away. And it pretty much works. Well, so he thinks, because the guy's being attacked by the walkers, so he would have been dead, in a little bit either way, turned into a walker. But Negan leaves him and he screams at him for being a traitor. There he is, getting eaten. And then back to Navarus. This is where hadn't happened yet. This is where she's telling Armstrong, Pearlie, that these people can help them get the methane. And she basically knows that they won't want to help. And she, says we got to try to convince them. And she says that Maggie doesn't care because Maggie only cares about her son. Like, we care about the Federation. Like, yeah, because it's her son. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. She seems to think that they can convince them. She says we just have to wait for the right moment. And he just kind of, goes along with it. He really doesn't say one reason or another, one way or another. All right. And then we go back to Herschel here, and Joan is looking at his drawings. And I can at least move it up. You can see she's looking at the drawing. And she doesn't really talk much, but she does say she likes the drawing. And then all of a sudden, this guy, who obviously is going to die, going to turn because he's been bit, but he's actually still alive. Because I wasn't sure, were you not sure at first too? Like, I wasn't sure if he was human until he starts using a weapon, and he has to still be human at this point.
Yes. At first I was confused. I said, wait a minute, is he a walker?
Yeah, not quite yet, but he stabs this poor girl through the leg, and Herschel gets the gun out and points it at him, and this guy's like, you would have killed me by now if you knew how, or we're going to. But before he has to kill him, Negan comes through and impales him with his stick, and Herschel points the gun at Negan as well.
Oh, but he stabbed this girl on the leg also.
Yeah, I said that. That guy stabbed the girl in the leg, but then he went and pointed the gun at him. Right. But before he had to make a choice and do anything, Negan comes in and rescues him. And he does aim the gun at Negan, and he ends up actually shooting at Negan, doesn't hit him. I'm not sure if he purposely shot way off base or he just can't aim because he doesn't know how to shoot. I kind of assume that Maggie taught him how to shoot.
I just think he wanted to let Negan know to get the hell out of there.
Yeah,
like he doesn't want to see Negan. He doesn't want to have anything to do with Negan. Yeah. I don't know if he actually wants to kill him. He just doesn't want him around him.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to kill him. I don't think he wants to kill anybody, but I also don't know that he would be such a bad shot. It makes me question, like, I think it was more like a warning shot, but
yeah,
the way they filmed it was a little hard to tell.
Yeah, I think it was a warning to Negan to leave.
Yeah.
And Negan did. He left.
Yeah, that's true. But Herschel turns back around and he's completely gone. So now Maggie is still looking for Herschel. And she finds a walker with the heart missing again. I thought I had a picture of it. I didn't this time. But then Herschel and Joan come through and she helps him. She does make a point of saying that I heard a shot. So she doesn't know why. She doesn't realize that it was Herschel that did it, though.
Well, she doesn't know Ginny had a gun.
No, she doesn't know that either, but she did hear the shot.
Right.
It does show Negan that Negan's been, I guess, affected by this, let's say. I mean, we don't really see much other than that what happened with Herschel affected him. So the three of them come in, and the group of these people, they bring her and put her up on the table, and then it has Herschel again flashing back. We don't really get a whole bunch yet about that girl being saved or not saved, because he's looking at his drawing. I didn't take a picture of it, but looking at his drawing, it's got blood on it from that girl from when she was stabbed. And it makes him remember again being back with the Dama. And basically, she left the door open. And again, I think this was part of her tactic of engendering him to her and brainwashing him and making him feel like he's not a victim, not a prisoner. So he snuck out, and when you know it, there's walkers. Like, we didn't think that was going to happen, and they attack him, but she saves him. And
but she did that. She planted that.
Yeah, she did. She planned the whole thing. I agree with that.
Yeah. Because how could the walkers get in that building? I mean, where would they come from?
Yeah, not without her knowing they were there.
Right.
I think that she expected him to leave and probably sent just a couple. I have to wonder, though, like, what if they attacked him before she could do anything?
Well, she was there waiting for him to leave his room, and he didn't leave right away.
Right. But I mean, like, this could have went south really quick if one of them had bit him. Like, she was gauging and guessing that wouldn't happen, but it could have. So she says she wants to show him something, and she brings him to this bedroom, which she says that she made up for him. This was part of the museum. And that guy she was talking about, his Alistair, his painting, his sculptures there, as well as other paintings from the museum. But she says, what if we couldn't escape our past, but could erase it through reinvention? And the wall, like, there's the thing showing the sculpture there. The wall shuts, and it takes him up in an elevator to the top of that building.
That was pretty cool, right? He's actually living in an elevator.
Yeah, that room is an elevator. Yeah. I hadn't really thought about that, but you're right. That whole room's an elevator. But she said that all I can do is show you the canvas and give you the resources and the power to do it. But she says to think about what the city could, not what it is, but what it could be. So he's like her little protege or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, he takes back out. I was trying to see if we had I remember before somewhere we had a timer, and I have no idea where it even tells how long we've been broadcasting. Everything says 00 to me. That's how much I know. So there's a little bit more of their conversation. Wait, I took a couple more. All right. So now he's back in the present, and he's looking at his drawing. And this is where he does admit to Maggie that that girl showed up and started asking about his drawings, because she kind of acted almost like you were drawing, like I'm looking for you and you're sitting there drawing, which I thought was funny, because I mean, he's a kid. That's what, he's not going to listen. Yeah. But he tells her about what happened, that guy coming, about Negan rescuing them. And Maggie starts asking, what about Negan? What did Negan want? What did Negan say and all this? And he's like, I don't know. And he starts yelling back at her, like, he does not want to be a part of this. She's putting him in the middle of it again. And this kind of shows back to what the Dama was saying about maybe she doesn't have time for him. At least that's how he feels.
Yeah, like because once again, it's like she's obsessed with Negan.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see him? What did he say? Was he alone? And he got angry. He's like, this is the problem. You completely ignore me.
Yeah, and he even says, I don't give a shit about Negan. You do.
Right.
So she doesn't get it, but he's trying to get her to get it, so maybe she will. Jenny comes over, and he gives her the bag back. He doesn't say anything to her about the gun, which I don't know. Do you think that was a mistake? He just gave it back? I mean,
did he keep the gun for himself?
I assume he put it back in the bag. He didn't say anything about it.
We didn't see him do that, though. Right?
No, you're right. We didn't. But I kind of assumed she probably checked, and otherwise would have been like, where's my gun?
And what's weird is that they don't speak to each other. They just give each other looks,
Yeah, Jenny doesn't talk a lot to begin with, so it makes it harder. But
it would be nice if she would say, give me my bag. What are you doing with my bag? Instead of just giving him this look, It's just weird. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
she got her bag back.
Yes. Um, and then meanwhile, this girl, now I don't know, she may have gotten her femoral artery ripped, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't quite understand this. I mean, yeah,
she
if it was
seems
a major
hurt
artery,
more than she should
yes.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this could have been this could have been, I would think, surgically or in some way they could have helped her, I would think.
Yeah, I agree that they could have. I just wonder like um if they would have let them because Pearlie comes over and he's like, "You can have our first aid kit. We'll do whatever we can." And she's like, "We don't need to." I don't know that they would have let them try to help her because they seem to not want the modern conveniences. And she does seem, I mean, to be fair, it wasn't like she was, I mean, yeah, she killed her, but she did seem to be dying already, I would say.
Oh, you think she was still alive when she ripped her heart out?
Oh, she definitely, because she took that big ass sharp rock and slammed it into her chest. I assumed she was still partially
I
alive.
thought she was dead at that point.
I guess she might have been. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I think she was
anyway,
dead. She was dead. She had just died.
either way, they weren't doing very much to save her.
No, not
So,
at all.
not at all, no. But they each take turns before that happens, telling her goodbye and like touching her forehead. And
Right.
they're
So they
really,
don't believe in any intervention whatsoever. I mean, it could even just be primitive intervention. It could be putting some herbs on or
yeah.
something. They didn't do anything, which is so bizarre, right? Nothing.
It is, and that's why I said I don't know that they would have let them, but nobody really tried to do anything. They're letting them take care of her the way they
No,
want.
no. I mean, even themselves,
Yeah.
not the group, but themselves. That they don't have their own medicinal stuff that they use. You know?
Yeah. They that's why I said they didn't seem to do anything at
No.
all pretty much. And they seem to accept it a lot. Like, oh yeah, the dead are made up of our people. Eventually we're all gonna be there one way or another. And they
Right.
don't seem too concerned over it.
And I guess that's why I thought they were similar to the Whisperers in that way. That they see the dead as part of them.
Oh,
That
okay, yeah, I see.
they're not much different than the dead, and that the dead protects them. And there's a scene coming up with Maggie that I want to talk about because it's very strange to me with the dead and Maggie. But okay, go ahead. So let's continue here.
Um so this is where somewhere in here he talks to, okay, that was where she talked to Herschel. But he, after he offers them that's where he offers them the medical kit. But he talks to Navarez. I thought I had a picture, but I don't. He talks to Navarez, who is like, "Well, they're distracted now. Now we can talk them into, you know, helping us." And he's like, "They're distracted because somebody is dead, is dying. Leave them alone." And I appreciate that. And Ginny is paying attention. She's watching them, and she kind of seems to be like, you know, is seeing all this crap go down. But yeah, he's like, no, leave them alone. This is
That's
not
right.
the time to do that. So at least he's kind of sticks up for them there a little bit.
Well, Navarre shows she has no empathy for anyone. I mean, when
Right.
she said that thing about Herschel, that Maggie only cares about Herschel, well, that's her son.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
doesn't seem to understand other people, what's important to them.
Or just a
Um,
care. That's
yeah, so
probably
she's
more
just very lacking in any kind of empathy for anybody. Yeah.
So they all start telling her goodbye. Herschel comes over and gives her the picture that he drew and also tells her goodbye. And then this is where she takes the sharp rock. I guess you're right. It wouldn't matter whether she was dead or not. She'd still have to rip through her chest.
Yeah, but I don't think she did it while she was alive. I mean, that would be cruel.
It would be, I guess. And she probably
Yeah.
would have screamed. So you might be right. I just
Yeah.
kind of assumed she finished her off. Because, to be fair, most of these people, when they do finish them off and stab them to kill them, they don't really make noise for some reason.
Yeah.
But somehow she took this primitive rock and used it to break her. I mean, I know you could break somebody's ribs with that, but to actually use it to cut them apart enough to take out their heart,
Yeah.
I struggle a little bit to believe you could do that with a rock.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what it is, it's Walking Dead. But she takes out the heart and they're kind of looking on horrified, like, what is going on? What is she doing? And I don't think it's quite yet. I think this is where it switches to Negan and Croat again. And Negan tells him that they had a thorny situation. Yeah, the thorny situation was he shot him or stabbed him. After they went through the thorns and the guy got bit, he stabbed him. But he basically says to him, you know, it's a wasteland. If Wayland didn't make it, nobody else is going to make it either. They're fine. And they're dead, you know, and Croat is kind of stupid, so he falls for it.
No, he said he looked at his hands, and Negan had blood on his hands. So yeah. He knew he killed that guy.
Well, but I mean, I assumed that he would know Negan killed him and took him out if he turned, but I don't know that he necessarily knows that Negan orchestrated it.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, he kind of falls for stuff a lot. So then they leave the heart out for these walkers to get. This is, I think, awful, and I don't understand that this is what they do and they're ritual and everything.
Yeah, but this is why I was saying that they have a relationship with the walkers.
Yeah, it's
but what's strange about this scene is, do you have a picture of this scene?
I have a picture of the girl, I think. Hold on. There, they drop her body off after they drop the heart off. So basically, they're feeding the walkers and giving them new walkers, I guess, to keep them, I don't want to say to keep them happy, but I guess like they just go off and wander around and they create like a barrier of protection that people generally won't come into where they live.
Right.
I think that people would get attacked really, really easy with all those walkers.
That's the thing. You see, so she's laying there. She hasn't woken up yet.
Right.
But in the next scene, she wakes up. And she looks right at Maggie, comes outside to watch them. The walkers don't see Maggie. They're not interested. There's only 2 walkers eating the heart. There's like 4 other walkers a little further away. And then this girl who she first gets up. She sees Maggie. And instead of walking towards Maggie, she walks the opposite direction away from Maggie, following the other walkers. So what I found weird about this is she definitely saw Maggie because she woke up, she was looking right at her. And yet they don't go over to Maggie. I thought that was very strange.
I mean, I would say maybe because they keep them fed by giving them, you know, organs and stuff.
But that would imply that they have a consciousness, that they are
I know. No, I'm agreeing. Well, I just mean like maybe they aren't as violent when they aren't like as hungry. I don't know.
No, but, no, that they would eat anybody who's there because there were several of them there.
Yeah, and I was going to say that heart wasn't enough for more than.
There was only 2 of them eating the heart.
Yeah, I don't know. This is where this show has a lot of plot holes. You're 100% right, and I agree with you. There's no reason they couldn't have attacked them, but
I'm saying if these people are saying that the walkers protect them, and that they want the walkers there, that they feel they're part of that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
If the walkers know that they're going to be fed, if the walkers don't attack them, then they're not walkers. It doesn't make any sense. You know?
You're right. And that's the thing too. If they fed them, they'd come there even more often, I would think.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. I mean, I understand saying, well, these walkers keep out people.
Yeah.
But they're living so close to them, you would think people would get killed all the time. But I don't know. It may just simply be that they're just not scared of them. And they're just kind of like, if we die, we die. That's the only really.
Oh, yeah. That I can understand. Yeah. That I fully agree with. But I don't agree with the walkers not wanting to attack them. I don't understand that. Because Maggie went right outside and she's looking at them. And they don't even look at her. It's like she's not there.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. It's a big problem. But
anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it kind of is what it is.
Unless they're going to have a new walker now, a new super walker that has a conscience. I don't know.
Maybe. I doubt it. I think it's just bad writing. But Herschel goes to, or not Herschel, Maggie goes to talk to Herschel. And she says that I asked you before if the city had some kind of pull on you. Were you telling the truth? I just want to understand. And he tells her that, he doesn't see it as a terrible place like everybody else does. He sees the beauty in the place. And we don't really get to see, I don't even think we see the rest of the conversation, because he flashes back again to him drawing for the Dama, and her saying that to protect this new world, they have to make hard sacrifices. And she's like, when you go home, there might be things you're going to have to do, which is obviously, prepping for the fact that he started the smoke signal.
Right.
But it doesn't really tell anything other than that I'm guessing has more plans for him yet. And then he looks out at the barren wasteland, and that's where it ends at. So, yeah.
That's the picture he was drawing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
the view from his window.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
A room with a view.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a nice view, I guess, but.
So the question is, who cuts off his toe?
I'm assuming the Dama, but why? Or I don't know, because he doesn't act. I kind of almost wonder if, like, she asked him to sacrifice a piece of himself or something. Because he's so messed up, because he doesn't seem to still be scared of the thought of her after whatever she did. And if she tortured him and cut off his toe, I would think he would be. So that makes me wonder.
Yeah, so I think it's one of two things. Either the Croat did it, because he's the bad guy, and she's the mommy, oh, I'm so sorry, honey, kind of thing. Or, right, she says to him, we're in this together. I need you to give me something of yours, so that when you look at yourself, you'll remember me, and it's like a way for me to know that you're on board with me. So maybe she suggests his toe, or he says he suggests it himself, and I think it's probably more that, because that kind of links them, and then every time he looks at his foot, he remembers the Dama.
Yeah, either or like I said, maybe she just is like, you got to sacrifice a bit of yourself to this if you really believe in it or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really. He's damaged right now. I mean, she's really got her claws into him, so it's hard to know what happened. But I'm assuming that they'll explain it at some point soon.
Well, you've heard of the term Stockholm syndrome, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what's going on here. Because they captured him, and who knows how long they had him before she was nice to him and released him.
Yeah.
So he was grateful to her. She took the ropes off him. She gave him a pillow and a blanket, some peanut brittle, and and she's nice to him. She gives him paper and pencils to draw with, and in his mind, she saved him.
Yeah, I have to question, though, that he doesn't realize she's still his captor. But like you said, yeah, Stockholm syndrome.
Well, I think he knows that she's his captor, but she's being nice to him. So in order for him to survive, he's depending on her for his survival. So he has to like her in a way. He has to make her like him so that they don't hurt him. And that's where the Stockholm syndrome comes in.
Yeah.
And even after he goes back to Maggie, he doesn't talk about her. He's protecting her.
Yeah.
Now, you would think, because they showed, I think it was the last episode, Maggie was looking at his foot. She saw he was missing a toe.
Oh, yeah. I think she just didn't want to ask about it because she probably was afraid he was, traumatized by whatever happened.
But if that was your kid, I mean, if that was my kid, I would say, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah, she never questioned it. I mean, like I said, I kind of got the opinion that she probably didn't want to. They were starting to get along. She didn't want to, make waves, didn't want to traumatize them more. But I totally agree with you. She should have. I kind of wondered that she didn't, but.
And then she said, who is this woman that, the Dama in the picture? And he said, oh, it's just somebody I saw on a billboard somewhere,
Yeah. And I think she started to realize that he had to have been lying at this point.
And I understand that up until like last season, Herschel was very angry. He was like a typical teenager, moody and angry at her. And
Mhm.
she was happy they were getting along better now.
Yeah.
But part of his anger is because he has been traumatized. I mean,
Oh,
he's a
he most
very
definitely has been
extremely
traumatized.
traumatized kid.
Yeah,
Um,
he just may
but
not
I'll
know it.
but I'll tell you, I liked him better. I like him actually better this season than last season, and I liked him in this episode. We got to know more about him in this episode,
Yeah,
and
I don't mind him as much in this episode.
yeah, I mean, we're finding out more about him. He's becoming more interesting, I think, uh, especially with his relationship with the Dama. So I still think she was a school teacher. I don't know. I just have that feeling that she was a school teacher at one
Mhm.
time, or maybe she was an art teacher or a literature teacher or something. You know,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess. Hopefully they'll reveal that soon. I mean, I don't know, um, but yeah, I think also whatever, we'll see whatever she did to Herschel, maybe figure out how, how, like, how much is he still influenced by her, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like, maybe we'll hopefully figure that out or be told
Well,
that.
he definitely is because he sent the smoke signal.
Yeah, he sent the smoke signal. Um, and like we said back then, we don't know if he cared whether people got killed or not, just that his mother didn't.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. Do you think being around his mother now has made much of a difference?
Well, I think even when he was with the Dama, he still loved his mom. But
Right. I just
he
wonder if being back to her now, her trying to talk to him and that, if it made much of a difference.
I don't know. It depends on how badly they brainwashed him.
Yeah.
I She must have done well when his toe was cut off. I mean, that's very traumatic, but how did she do it, right? If she did it in a nice way, like this, I need you to give me something of yours, versus you're a bad kid, we're cutting your toe off. I mean, that's two different things.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think he's still under her influence. I'm not sure why, but we'll find out more. But I mean, he loves his mom. He definitely loves her, but he's angry with her at the same time. He said this. He said, "You see, this is the problem. All you do is think of Negan. This is the problem." He's
Yeah.
telling her, "I'm angry with you. You ignore me. All you do is think of Negan." You know,
Which is
so,
true.
which is true because she's traumatized by what happened. So
Hmm.
Negan is always there for her.
Yeah.
Um,
And he was dead before, I mean, he was born after his father was dead. He has no clue
no,
anything about him other than what he's heard from Maggie.
he doesn't understand that his mother is traumatized. And
Yeah.
that's why Negan is on her mind so much. It's not that she cares about Negan. See,
No.
I think Herschel's confused.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
sure.
Herschel's wondering, like, why does she care so much about Negan? He killed my father. Why does she care about him? She should hate him. She shouldn't think about him at all, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but he doesn't understand the trauma that Maggie has been through.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Yeah. I
So, and but he didn't kill Negan in that scene because, first of all, he's not a killer. Number one, Herschel hasn't killed it. As far as I know, he hasn't killed anyone.
right.
Uh, and second of all, I don't think he wants to be like that. I just think he wants Negan to go away. You know.
Yeah.
But
That's
but I
fair.
wonder how Negan felt that this kid pulled a gun on him. You know. So
Yeah.
I
I mean, I think that he's been trying to protect, him. So he's not going to be mad about it or anything, I don't think. But if,
I don't know if he'll be mad, but he certainly won't feel comfortable around him. You
right. But
know.
I mean, I think that Negan, I mean, personally, I think Negan probably understands why he did it.
Yeah.
But the point is, he didn't kill him, which is what
No.
really kind of mattered.
Well,
So,
that's true. Right.
yeah.
And so the next episode looks really good too.
Yeah.
Bruegel, I heard, has a very big role in the next episode.
Yeah.
So,
Called
and he's
Feisty
supposed to be great.
Frenzy. Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed Kim Coates in this. I like his character.
Yeah.
I didn't know what. I guess we'll see more of them next episode. I was gonna say I don't know which episode's which, but
No, I think it's the next one. Yeah,
probably. I think he was in the trailer. I can't remember.
yeah. And Negan, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he meets up with Maggie in the next episode. We see that.
Well, at least they're finally to that point. Then again, there's not very many episodes, but I think
Right.
as much as I don't necessarily, I mean, last season I didn't know how I felt about them working together, but it's kind of like at a certain point with this show, like we're watching two different groups. I'd like them to, merge and not be the whole season watching two different groups. Although
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
agree.
it's kind of about that showdown. So I don't know. We'll have to,
Right.
have to wait.
But in a way, I mean, they have to have that because they can't have Negan and Maggie friends. They can't like be on the same side in a way.
Right. And Ginny also, if Ginny does have a gun, if she's after Negan, like where does that, factor in?
Right. I mean, did she really believe Negan when he told her that? I killed your father. I mean, maybe she did, but that makes her character very one-dimensional. I mean, they haven't done anything to develop her character. It would be nice to know what she thinks.
So,
yeah, I mean, it would be nice to know what she thinks. Here, Negan took care of her for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
And she's ready to kill him now. That's strange.
Kind of. Yeah, I don't know. It's just making me a little bit think of Last of Us and like forgiving somebody and
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing. But
right.
We'll have to see.
Well, but, like with Herschel, I was thinking about this. There was a parallel between Herschel and Abby. Herschel's father was killed by Negan. Abby's father was killed by Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Abby kills Joel.
Yeah, Herschel
did not kill Negan.
Go on a rampage or something. He just
he chose not to do it.
I mean, I hope it stays that way. I don't want him going on a rampage. I'm just saying, you never know.
I don't think so, but Ginny might. She might try and kill him.
Oh, Ginny, yeah, I wouldn't put it past Ginny. We don't really know. You're right. We don't know a whole lot about Ginny. She doesn't say a lot, so it's hard to tell.
No.
All right.
All righty. So, guys, you have any questions for us?
Yeah, if you have any. Oh, we had some people talking. Oh, they're talking to each other in the chat. Thanks, Trace. Yeah, please, guys, like, subscribe. Sorry for all the. We will eventually get these things ironed out. I think, and I've said this before, I think the biggest part is we're trying to stream it to more than one place. I think probably if we weren't, we wouldn't be having all these issues. But I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I'd like to try maybe doing one just me and see if like it makes it easier, or if I still have issues. Like later in the week, I might figure out something to do kind of a test stream on alone. I did try to output this to Twitch as well. I'm curious if it goes out. So if any of our people on Twitch see it, let us know on social media. I don't really use Twitch a lot. I want to start, but I don't really know how to use Twitch and the streaming service. Right. But I know our show normally with on StreamYard does go out to it, so I tried connecting it. But yeah,
okay.
Yes, you can see Sci-Fi-Vision on all the different social medias. It's at Sci-Fi-Vision everywhere except Facebook because I can't get it to switch back to the right name. There it's sci-fivision.com. Everywhere else is at Sci-Fi-Vision. But yeah, drop us a note. Let us know what worked, what didn't, what we have to fix, and we'll try to fix the audio issues. And yeah, please make sure that you visit Laurie's channel, Real Cinema Therapy, and check out her videos. And please make sure you join me again tonight with Scarlett. We're going to be in about half an hour, about 10:45. We're going to be having our Murderbot watch party for the first 2 episodes, followed by at midnight, because it's Midnight Murderbot, we're going to be discussing the show. And I put everywhere 11:59. I figured it was less confusing, but it's tonight. And yeah, that's at 12 tonight. And we will be using StreamYard because our sister network won't be on there right now. They'll be off by then. So there shouldn't be quite as many issues, but we'll see at that point how OBS works with StreamYard. Hopefully at least that will work. And if it does, then me and you will know for next time that it works.
Right. Oh, so you're going to try doing that tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to try using OBS since we have StreamYard. But it will, I mean, we can connect without issue since it's StreamYard either way. So if something goes wrong, we'll still be connected. But it'll at least give me a better idea of what's wrong, because I really think part of it has to do with connecting to the other networks, but also even just that we're using Video Ninja. If anybody that's watching this does by chance use OBS and you have a different way to connect when you have multiple people, let us know. I think some of it may just be my not knowing how to do a lot of things, like with the audio mixer. I think that it was pulling in the audio from Video Ninja, not from my camera, because I had it routed, the virtual camera routed through that site. I don't know why the video was coming through and not the sound, though. That's really odd. But now I'm pulling it through both. I wonder if I should have unmuted that. Maybe I see another audio. There's like so many audio inputs. It's confusing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not an easy program to quite figure out, but we're getting there. And as for the chat, yeah, I think I'm going to have to find some new services for different things, different plugins, and try some things until eventually we figure out what works the best.
What about what's the other service? Not StreamYard, but the other one, Streamlab.
Streamlabs is sort of OBS. You still have to use OBS. It's a paid version, kind of. You'd have to read about it. It's sort of still the same thing.
I see.
That lets you multi-stream. It's a different way of doing it. But yeah, using Restream, StreamYard, Riverside, that's what you pay for, is the ability to make it nice and easy. Mm-hmm. Takes technical figuring things out for this, but I think we'll get it eventually. It's just taking a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think so.
There's other plugins we can try. It's just a matter of, you have to try them, and you don't know until you go live if it's going to work. Because it's like, I can put the little test thing up here, the little test chat, that works just fine. But the actual chat, yeah, it's not there. You can't test it unless you're live. So
Muncher Luncher says, "Hello there, Jamie. Notice me." Okay, we notice you. Hello.
Notice you. I can't put the chat up because it didn't pop in my chat because my chat's stupid. But I notice you.
Hello, Trey. Hello, Doc. Hello, Golden Child.
Yeah.
Hello, DJ. Bill Chill.
What else do we got? I think that was it.
Just Genus. Just Genus.
Oh, just Genus.
Just Genus.
Okay, that's somebody else maybe.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. And like I said, tune back in again tonight at midnight and watch our Murderbot coverage. And if you want to watch, the episodes first, we're going to be watching a live party here in a bit. So yeah, come join us. And I'm sure everybody there probably already has it, but I'll put the Discord link in the chat in case you are new and do not have the link. I put it right. If you join Discord, you can get the schedule and all that good stuff. So please join if you haven't. Yeah, and subscribe to Sci-Fi-Vision, and we will see you in a bit. And the two of us together will be back next week, and hopefully with less issues.
Yes. Okay. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.